Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephine, in case you don't know. If you see me for the first time, yay! Just do well to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you'll see it. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make this flower bouquet, okay, this ring bouquet, whatever it's called. I'll find out what it's called. So I'm going to be showing how to make it, and to make this there are several things that we'll need to make it. The first thing we're going to be needing here is the millinery wire. This is a millinery wire, and then we'll also need a thread. I'm going to use an invisible thread here, but whatever thread in this case doesn't even matter. Even if you have to use a normal sewing thread, but if you want to use a normal sewing thread, you need to double or triple it. For me, I used a mat, okay? The mat we use for millinery work. I'll show you when I'm doing it. Another thing we'll be needing here is the green tape. This is a green tape. Now, it's being used, so I just picked it for the sake of this video. If you don't want to use the green tape, you could also use the bias tape. So for this particular project, it was a bias tape I used, not the green tape, as you can see. I used bias tape. I didn't really like the color the green tape gave me, so I decided to use this bias tape instead. But you could use any one, it will work better. Another reason I used bias tape is because I wanted to give it a little bit of volume. I wanted it to be thicker. Okay, so it's flower. In case you don't know, I love flowers. I love flowers. So I'm using flowers for this, and you can use any type of flower of your choice. This is another type of flower. This was longer, like it was the same length with this, but I already used it for this too. If you notice here, you see the flower. That's it. You could also use many more flowers. Even this is my decorative flower here. You can also, oh, if I don't scatter it. You could also use the flowers. This is one flower. This is another flower. I have two here, by the way. So you could use any flower. At this point, you can use any flower. So this can serve as leaves. This can serve as flowers. But for this particular project, I didn't use this. I used just this and this and this. Okay, for this project, you can use any flower you feel like. I mean, any flower, it will work as long as it's a flower. And then I'm choosing off-white because that's what I want to use. I think it's more cheeky, more detailed, more... I just prefer it. Let me not use words that would downplay the other flowers. Please let me fix my flower back. For information, this flower is going to serve as both my decorative flower and my millinery flower. It's my property, so I can use it to do anything I want to do. A plier or a cutter. Okay, I'll also need a glue gun, as well as the gum. This one has exhausted, so I'll need to add more to work in it. Scissors and whatnot. So these are the things I'm going to be using for this project. Let me stop talking. I'll jump straight into the tutorial, and I'll see you on the other side. I'll pick the millinery wire and measure 100 inches. This is how I achieved my 100 inches. You can apply the same too. So the dimension you want your ring to be, multiply that length by 5, at least 5. But in my case, I multiplied mine by 10. So I wanted my ring to be 10 inches. In fact, I even reduced it to like 9.5. And then I multiplied the millinery wire by 10 to give me 100. So what we're seeing here now is that this thing is about 11 point something, so I have to reduce it. So that's what I did there. But if you want to increase it, just open it up a little bit, and that's it. So here, I think I've gotten what I want. Then I'm going to go ahead and wrap the remaining wires around it. This is just basically to give it strength, because if you don't do this, it will be easy to just bend the bouquet anyhow. But with all this wire put together, to give it a strong hold, and nothing would actually shake it unless someone deliberately put a lot of pressure on it, and then it can shift. Having done this, the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I'll pick a thread and I'll tie this around. Remember, I mentioned that you could use any thread you want. So there are several threads you could also use. You could use wool, you could use the shoemaker or the cobbler's thread. You could use any thread as long as it is light and strong. And then here I'm using a paper mat thread. That's what I want to use, please. So that's what I'm going to be using. I just took some of them off it. But you know this bag that they use, this bag of rice and the lights, if you think it's strong enough, you can try use rope. Okay, so I'm going to be tying this around this wire. It's not compulsory. You can choose to tie it or not to tie it, but I like to tie it for maximum security, just in case something happens. You understand? So yeah, I'll tie it around, and when I'm done tying, the next thing I'm going to be doing it's to cover it up. Trust me, you want to ensure that every part of your millinery wire is covered. So that's the use of actually using this thread to fasten it as much as possible. So I'll just tie it and onto the next. So here I'll pick my UHU gum and I'm going to be using it to attach this bias tape to the wire. Very simple. So apply some gum and then I'll put my millinery wire on it and just cover. Now I don't even know why I put a gum on the bias tape after putting it on the metal. I'm not sure why, but you actually have to put it on one side. So I'll just flip it over like this all the way till I get to the end. When you're doing it, try and be patient, because as you can see, the bias is wrapping it up. So if you do yours, either you cut the bias tape, I didn't want to cut mine, or you unwrap it whenever it wraps up. Either ways, just make sure you cover it properly and make sure it is beautiful. So mine is making progress and I have come to the end of covering mine. Just cover it so that there'll be no loose end or millinery wire showing. At this point, you can try to go over it a second time if you so desire, but for me, one is just fine. So just in case you didn't use as much wire as I did, you could use your bias tape to cover up for it. Just double it or triple it as the case may be. So I'm done with it right now. Next thing I'm going to be doing to be introducing my flowers. So I'm going to be cutting 2 stems out of this particular bunch. As I'm cutting, it's feeling as if I'm just cutting my nails. Okay, that wasn't funny. Anyways, I'm going to be fixing these flowers the way I feel like. So you can fix yours however you feel like, but just watch what I'm going to be doing. So I wrapped the first one, inward. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to be wrapping the second one inward as well. This is just to enable it stay as much as possible. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then you can manipulate it to whatever direction you want. At this point, I don't even know how to describe what I'm doing anymore, but just ensure that your flowers stay put as long as possible. Make sure it's durable, make sure it's something you did with love. So the 2 flowers are taking shape right now. The next thing I'll go ahead to do is to arrange their stems. At this point, I don't know how to describe whatever I'm going to be doing next, but just watch and learn. So next thing I did was to fix some flowers in between both flowers. So I used the glue gun to hold it together, because that's our instrument for today. So the next thing we'll do is to also look for flowers, to fill in areas. And basically what I'm doing is to arrange flowers on this vase. At this point, just watch the processes and how I achieved it. You can do it however you want. You don't have to do it exactly the way I did mine. This is just my style. But trust me, it's easy and straightforward. You can do it yourself in the house and all of that. If you feel like the flowers are not staying well at this point, you can just use your gum to adjust it to the position you would want it to be, and that's what I'm doing right now. So I have come to the end of this project. Like I showed you before, I was showing you these two initially at the beginning of the video. I did many others, which is about 4 or 5 in number. I made it for a friend's wedding, so this is what it looks like. It's beautiful, right? Isn't it lovely? Anyways, thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you so much for sticking around. I am grateful. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Help your girl, right? Help me. Anyway, thanks so much for staying with me. And if you want me to do any other tutorial as regards millinery, as regards headwears, as regards kids outfits, just let me know, and I'll jump in and create the tutorial specially for you. Bye. So welcome to my channel. My name is Sefine, in case you don't know. I'm happy. So that's about it. I was at this wedding, by the way. So used it, and that's it. It's beautiful, right?